So there's been a lot of Ravens conversation for early July, but one of the conversation points, Cam Newton obviously has his podcast, the Fourth and One podcast, and he talked about him and his career. He was asked a question. I think it was just a fan mailbag question about who do you think is the best dual threat quarterback? Do you see yourself? Does Cam see himself as the best dual threat quarterback in NFL history? And he said, no, it's Lamar, and talked a bit about it. I think we have the video, right? We're going to play it. So we'll hear what Cam has to say, and then I will react on the other side.
Do you see or think of yourself as the greatest dual threat to ever play the game?
No, Lamar Jackson.
What? Why so? Why Lamar?
Well, Lamar's style is a little different than mine. He got big play, any play.
Yeah.
Yes, he got speed that I never had, and he's just electric. And then, like, I play the game more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You're gonna run through you. They might run around you.
yeah, I can run, but I might probably get caught. Vic, Lamar, they ain't getting caught.
So let's talk about that. Cam Newton asked if he sees himself as the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time, and he himself says no, it is Lamar Jackson. So immediate kind of reaction from you, Kevin, then we'll go to Rock.
Yeah, I think they're different stylistically. And there was a conversation today that Luke Kuechly had about how, Lamar, he's, pain to get to the ground and tackle and keep in the pocket. But Luke ended up saying, actually, you can get your hands on him, you can bring him down. Cam would just run right through you. But Cam never had that top end speed that Lamar he talked about there, Michael Vick had. So obviously there's the two MVP aspect of things. Cam made a Super Bowl. Lamar has not to this point. I know that like when you're talking about made Super Bowls, Joe Burrow made a Super Bowl, and we know the discourse and the conversation around what that is. So, but I think to me, it's just so difficult because it almost goes back to the Mount Rushmore conversation of like, do we keep this for players who aren't playing anymore? But is Lamar already past Cam Newton? Because prime Cam Newton was a dog. The Cam was good, but that prime didn't last 10 years for Cam. It was kind of like he's here and then he wasn't. With Lamar, I think there is more sustained success. So, I mean, I'll probably pick Lamar here. I know Cam was being pretty humble in saying that because I think Cam is one of the all-time dual threat quarterbacks. I think when you talk about it, you automatically go to Lamar, you go to Vic and some of those guys, Steve Young. But Cam is certainly in that conversation. But I just think with Lamar, even though he is only 27, he's only in year 7. I do think the success, the MVPs, and obviously the records and the accolades are stuff that you can't, you can't ignore. Although Cam was great in his prime and in his heyday.
There you go. Thanks for unmuting me, Zach. There. But no, Kevin, I agree with what you're saying, and I agree with what Cam's saying, because if you look at Cam, if he had the size to be more powerful, like if you hit Cam as a linebacker, even you were going to feel it because he's a big dude. Like he's got the size, and on top of that, he's got speed as well. But when you're talking about the top line speed, I'm not going to chase you down and catch you speed, Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick are the first two players that come to mind when you think of that at the quarterback position. And it's no coincidence that you look at the stats, you look at the numbers. Lamar Jackson already in his career, he's got 2 MVPs, okay? And he doesn't just do that from rushing the ball, while that is a big part of his game. He's great throwing as well. And that's the underrated part of his game that people are like, oh, that's why he was called just a running back at the point in his career. Like that's what the narrative was. It's like, Lamar Jackson's a running back. No, he's not. He's a very talented runner at the quarterback position, and he does a fantastic job of it. When we're talking about rushing yards all time from quarterbacks, Michael Vick's at the top, 6,109 yards, okay? Second is Cam Newton, 5,631 yards. Lamar Jackson, he's fourth behind Russell Wilson, 5,258 rushing yards for a quarterback, okay? So this season, he could not only pass Cam Newton, he could pass Michael Vick and take that top spot all time. I wouldn't put it past Lamar to do that. On top of that, you look at Lamar, he holds the NFL record for single season rushing yards by a quarterback with 1,206. Okay. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about Lamar Jackson. Is he the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time? He's either one or two. For me, he's number one. For many, he could be number two. So looking at Lamar, what he's done, it's been fantastic. And he's got so much of his career left to be played. So it's when we're, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, looking back at what this guy brought to the game and what he was able to accomplish, not only with his arm, not only with his legs, we're going to be talking about one of the best players to ever play this game. He does a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I like what Cam put where he talked about their different kind of running styles. He said, yeah, I'm this big. Do you guys hear something as well? But
It might be the air.
yeah, I think so. But he talked about, I'm this big guy that linebackers are going to try to avoid. Like, it's not going to be fun running into me. But once he got past you, people were catching him. He's like, I get caught all the time. When Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick went past you, that was it. That was it. They were beating you to the end zone.